Lydia and I first met my first year at college. I started in the computer lab and walked up to her and started talking to her.
Fred first caught my eye because he was pretty persistent.
My initial impression of Lydia was I thought she was pretty attractive.
I wasn't really looking for a boyfriend, and he kind of kept coming, and we just became friends.
I remember laying on my bed in my dorm room thinking, you know, I'm really not going to meet anyone like her again.
When we first got married, we decided to wait a few years before having kids and enjoyed some time together, just the two of us. And after a while, we thought, okay, now it's time to try and have a family. And it took us a while to have our first child, and we weren't sure for a while whether or not it was going to happen for us.
Pretty much made up in my mind that that was the way life was going to be. We weren't going to have any children of our own, and I had come to accept that and believe that, you know, that was okay. And then it was shortly after that that I found out that Lydia was pregnant, and once we had Isaac, you know, it was great.
It was wonderful when we finally were able to have our child and have what we've been longing for so long. So we always knew we wanted to have, you know, several kids, more than just a couple. We always said 4, but I think we wouldn't have gotten to 4 without God kind of intervening.
When we first found out that we were having triplets, I was actually at the doctor's appointment.
I thought something was wrong at first. The doctor was very quiet. She wasn't saying much, and all of a sudden she turned the monitor to me and she said there are 3. And I think my heart stopped, literally stopped for a moment.
It really blew me away when I found out that we were having 3. There was a time I didn't think we were going to have any children.
It was all over the place. Every emotion you could think of kind of came out. We were barely halfway through the pregnancy. We showed up at Hershey Medical Center at 1 in the morning, and I remember the doctor saying, "They're coming today." And I just thought, no way, no, it's not happening. What are we doing? What's going to happen?
I called my family. Here it was 3 in the morning. I called my parents. I called her parents to let them know, just to pray for Lydia and pray for the boys that they were coming.
When they were born so early, you know it's going to be bad.
When the doctors told us how much they weighed, it was pretty surprising. You know, they were just over a pound, each of them, and it was, I just didn't know how it was all going to work out.
What are we doing? What's going to happen? And all the questions flood your mind, and you cry and you pray, and you cry and you pray, and there's nothing else you can do.
It was a very surreal moment in our life, just kind of helpless, actually.
I knew about the Ronald McDonald house, and I made a phone call to see if we could get in, and they said to show up that night that my husband could go and see if they had a room, and I remember hearing from him.
One of the staff members brought me around the house and gave me a tour. I was amazed at what I saw. I couldn't believe it. I was expecting a rundown hotel or something. I really didn't expect to see. You know, there's a family-style kitchen there, and you know, all the furniture there just for people to talk and relax, and then all the, you know, the rooms are fantastic. I was blown away when I first got to the Ronald McDonald house.
Mommy, what are you telling them about?
It was like leaving a piece of my heart at the hospital. But thankfully I only had to go just across the street. That was as far as I had to make it that first day. And walking into the
Ronald McDonald house. Tell 'em.
Walking into those doors for the first time was like coming home. I was shocked by the way it looked, the way it felt, the people there. I was just so grateful and overcome with gratitude. I remember sitting there the first night at dinner, thinking about the whole day, and it was just, I think, probably the 5th day of life for the boys. And sitting down and eating supper with my husband, and just looking at my plate of dinner, and being so overcome with surprise and gratitude that total strangers came in to do this for us, to provide for us when we have so much on our minds emotionally and physically. It was just complete shock that these strangers would be so kind and giving. And I remember eating my supper and just crying into my plate, just so overcome with gratitude, and just what a blessing that place was.